Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I am coming to you live from Monan Park on the campus of Boston College High School in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's 17 and under summer baseball game as part of the Firecracker Sports 4th of July tournament. Today's contest pits Brookline against GBG Northeast Black. This is the fourth and final game of the tourney for Brookline. While the top teams are going to advance and continue to play on Tuesday and Wednesday, the odds of that happening for Brookline are all but zero at this point. Might even be zero already. Haven't had a chance to check the standings or anything like that. But Brookline 0-3 in the tournament so far. They suffered a tough 16-0 loss to the powerhouse Bulldogs in 3 innings in the first game back on Saturday. On Sunday, they had a doubleheader with a lightning delay sandwiched in between. Lost to NEB West 7-2 in a 4-inning game that went over the time limit during the lightning delay, and so that game was declared final. And then after the lightning delay, came back, played Expos Baseball Johnson in a game that I wasn't able to live stream because the rainy conditions were just too difficult for me to deal with. You know, I can deal with rain once the stream has already started and I've already set up my equipment, because that's just a matter of throwing a coat over my laptop to protect the most valuable thing. But if I'm having to set up my equipment and my whole apparatus in the rain, it doesn't work. And unfortunately, we're not allowed into the press box during this tournament unless we are official tournament staff, because apparently they've had some past incidents of people stealing stuff. So that was a disappointing miss, but Brookline ended up losing that game as well, 9-1. And so now here they are, 0-3 so far in the tournament. And while it's bright and sunny out, it's also thoroughly wet and rainy at the same time, because on top of all the other weather events we've had at this tournament, why not throw a sun shower in there? You know, it's summer baseball once we've hit the sun showers. So a little bit of a late start to this one, as there was another lightning delay earlier today for the game prior to this one. And so that game ended late, and so this one is starting late. But hopefully this rain follows the pattern of most sun showers and dissipates pretty quickly. But in the meantime, we just wait for the game to get started. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. This is probably going to be the last game of this 4th of July tourney for Brookline, but they'll be resuming the Lou Tompkins All-Star League season next Monday with a game against, I believe, Bill Ricca. And we got plenty more games on the docket for that. I believe we got about 13 more regular season games plus playoffs for that season. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. And then, as always, I encourage audience participation in the live chat. I might not be able to read off as many live chat notes while it's raining, as I've got a coat thrown over my laptop, so it's just going to be harder for me to see. But I'll try and get to them as I can. and just hope that the weather clears up as we go. In the meantime, I haven't gotten a roster for GBG, and I'm not sure if I will. Worst comes to worst, I'll read off their jersey numbers, but I do have a roster for Brookline, and so I'll read that off for you guys right now. Leading off for Brookline today, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Batting third and playing third, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino. Batting fifth, the pitcher, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin. Just playing the field, not in the batting order for Brookline today, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. So that's the batting order for Brookline today. I believe they're going to be the home team on the scoreboard today. Now they're actually I'm not sure if it was just for last game, but they've got the scoreboard on out in left center field here at Monin Park. So that'll be a nice backup system if I'm slow updating my own scoreboard graphic due to the rain. You'll be able to read it off there. And we've got a couple of notes in the live chat. First from one of our regulars, Barbara Jo Metzger. Go Brookline from Grandma in Buffalo, New York, and Uncle Mike too. Happy to see you guys tuning in as always, Barbara and Mike. Hope you enjoy the game once we get started. And then we got one from one of Brookline's opponents from yesterday, from NEB West, Anthony Ardolino. Your call on my home run yesterday was awesome. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Anthony. And I'm sorry that apparently I must have read your name wrong on the roster. I think I was saying your last name was Idolino because I think I misread the R in your name as an I. I apologize for that. You know, I get handwritten rosters and sometimes I mispronounce, but it was still an excellent play that you had, probably the biggest play of that game. A 3-run inside the park home run to deep right center. That was a great piece of hitting and a great piece of base running. And it's funny because I actually remember that while I was making that call, you're turning it into an inside the parker actually kind of snuck up on me because if you listen to the call, I actually stumble a bit on it because I hadn't noticed that there was a courtesy runner because NEB's catcher was originally one of the guys who reached base before Ardolino got the inside the Parker. So I see a guy coming in. I'm like, oh wait, that's number 21. That's not Zamella. And I'm like trying to think, wait, who is that? And while I pause, all of a sudden I see Ardolino wheeling around third. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's making it an inside the Parker. But thank you very much for the kind words, Anthony. And best of luck to you and your team with the rest of the tourney. Looks like coaches have met with the officials at home plate. And as I was hoping, the sun shower is appears to be lightening up. I don't think it's completely gone, so I'm going to keep my coat over my laptop for the moment. But I think real soon I'll be able to take it off, which is going to be real nice for me. Makes doing my job that much easier. All right. Gonna take my wet coat off of my laptop as the skies appear to have cleared up just in time for this ball game. And as I said, folks, if there's anything you would like to say during this broadcast, I encourage you to say it either in the live chat, as a couple people already have, or if you're not comfortable or are unable to access YouTube's live chat system, then you can also send me an email, and you can see my email down in the bottom right corner of your screen. Oh, I actually just got a text with a link to the roster for the other team. It's not from it's not from a number that my phone recognizes. So whoever sent this, thank you so much.
baseball fans, and welcome back to Monan Park at UMass Boston for the nightcap of Day 3 of the 2024 Firecracker Sports 4th of July Showcase.
All right, I'm going to try and use this link to fill in some blanks on the roster as we go.
The Brookline Blue.
So the GBG Hawks from the Garcia Parra Baseball Group.
The starting pitcher for GBG is number 12, Kyle Redquest.
Oh, nice. They got all the numbers lined up, including the pitcher for GBG today, number 12, Kyle Redquest. So thank you, Mysterious Sender, for sending me a link to the roster. That is super helpful. Thank you so much. Redquest will be facing the top of Brookline's order, Keenan Sawada, Ben Doctoroff, and Jackson Fantuzzi. All right, here we go. First batter in the top of the first inning. The Brookline's second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch of the game going to miss outside for ball 1. So we ultimately start our game at about 5:55. So that one hits the zone for strike 1. It's actually been a bit of an ordeal, the start time for this game. It's gone from 5:30 to 3:45 to 5:30 to 5 to ultimately 5:55 for the start time. As that one hits the outside corner for strike 2, it's an early pitcher's count, 1-2 to Sawada. Slices this one foul. Strike 1. Redquest jammed him inside with a bit of a breaking ball there, trying to paint the corners from outside to inside. That one comes in high, ball 2. That's a high, ball 3. We got a full count to start the game. Swing and a miss. Sawada chased that one a bit high and goes down on strikes.
Second, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff.
Now batting the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. As we switch from a lefty to a righty hitter, we'll see if Redquest changes his approach. Worked the outside corner a lot against the lefty Sawada. And he goes to the same inside corner to Doctoroff for strike 1. So he seems to like that left side of the plate from the catcher's perspective. But that one drops low for ball 1. And Doctoroff hits one right up the third base line into left field. Bit of a slow roller, but Doctoroff is going to try and extend it down to a double. Slides under the tag. Ben Doctoroff, no fear as he stretches out what initially looked like it was going to be a slow-rolling single into a double.
Number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi.
So Brookline with a runner on second to start the game with one out. Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. He lifts the first pitch he sees. Out shallow right in foul territory and off the top of the fence there and out of play. Just barely out of range of the Hawks' first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson. So a simple strike one there, 0-1, the count to Fantuzzi. Tips that one to the backstop, strike two. Fantuzzi getting bat on ball, but no strong contact yet. And reaches and fouls that one off, stays alive. Redquest likes to send the breaking ball to the right side of the plate for a potential strikeout pitch, as he likes to primarily work the left side of the plate, whether it's a lefty or righty hitter, and then he likes to fool him up by going for a breaking ball to the right side. That one almost hits him, but he dodges it, and that'll be ball one. Almost a free pass for Fantuzzi. And whiffed yet. Wait, what just happened?
If you happen to recover a foul ball, please return it to either.
Okay, that was a brief scare for me. OBS Studio temporarily disconnected, but then quickly reconnected. Hopefully that's our only technical heart attack for today. As Fantuzzi hits a grounder over to short, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, taken off the turf by Dawson for out number 2. Throw from short was a little low, but the throw taken off the turf.
Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino.
So with 2 down and a runner at third, up comes the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino. First pitch, a low ball, 1. Doctoroff stands at third, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Makes contact. It's in foul territory. Might be playable, but just out of play. Dawson, the first baseman, putting some work in chasing these foul balls this inning. 1-1 the, oh wait, 0-2 the count? That doesn't make any sense. The ump signaled low. Gets a piece of it, fouls it off. And I think that's strike 2. I think the scoreboard's got it wrong because that first pitch was clearly signaled as a ball. So it should be 1-2, the count to Martino. And he makes contact. That's going to drop in left. Doctoroff trots home. Martino rounds first. He's going to try and stretch it for a double, and he will. Ellis Martino with an RBI double to left as Brookline gets on the board first. Taking a look at the replay really quick as they're wasting no time. You can see it just drops in nice there. And no time to show a full replay as we're moving efficiently on to the next hitter, as that will be strike 1 to the Brookline pitcher, number 15, Owen Hoffman. And that's going to be fouled off for strike 2. Hoffman was Brookline's starting pitcher in their first game of the tournament on Saturday. He was only allowed to pitch 2+ innings before he got pulled, and now we see why, because they wanted to be able to bring him back on Monday. As that one is fouled off and Hoffman stays alive. He had a rough first inning against the Bulldogs, giving up 4 runs, rebounded nicely with a 1-2-3 inning in the second. But then after allowing a leadoff walk in the third, he was pulled for a reliever. That one misses high and away. And once again, that breaking ball to the right side of the plate, you can tell it's Redquest's bread and butter for how he likes to work against hitters when he's ahead in the count. Hoffman lifts this one out to right center, hangs in the air for too long, and it's taken easily out in right field for out number 3. But Brookline does get on the board first. Oh my goodness. We're having some really strange problems with Wi-Fi today. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that wasn't a long cutout. And I hope you guys were able to see at least the nice doubles by Doctoroff and Martino in the top half of that inning. We see Hoffman warming up on the mound here. He's had some slight issues with his pitch accuracy, with his control in the early parts of this summer. And we'll see how he does here today on the last, what'll probably be the last game of the tournament for Brookline, as they've gone 0-3 in the tournament so far. I mean, they've fought well as a humble town team, but have not really been able to keep up against some of these other squads.
Leading off the bottom of the first for GBG, the left fielder, number 23, John Pyers.
So leading off for GBG will be number 23, the left fielder, John Pyers. First pitch is going to be a high ball 1. That one misses inside, ball 2. Slices that one foul, strike 1. Hoffman very much working the high part of the plate in this at bat. Goes low that time and draws a grounder. Snagged by Noah Klein at first and takes it to first himself for out number 1.
Batting second, the third baseman, number 19, Christian Bumpus.
So an unassisted ground out, and now I think I heard this is the third baseman, number 19, Christian Bumpus. That one's inside, close to hitting him, ball 1. That one's going to be low and away, ball 2. That one's going to be high for ball 3. So a hitter's count here at 3-0. Shows bunt, but pulls back. And that might have thrown off Hoffman a bit. But either way, that is a walk for Bumpus.
The first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson. Runner at first, 1 out. That one catches the inside corner, strike 1. Runner is taking off, but it's fouled off by Dawson. And that'll be strike 2. Oh, and 2, the count to Dawson. Throw back to first, check on Bumpus as he gets back. Runner's taking off, and the pitch gets away from Doctoroff as Bumpus takes second easily. Now, he took off before the pitch wound up being a wild pitch, so that does go down as a stolen base on the record for Bumpus. And it will go as ball 2 on the count as that one. Blocked by Doctoroff, throw to third, cannot get there in time. And you see that one. That one does go as advancing on a wild pitch. I got a little thrown off on the count as scoreboard had it wrong briefly, but it is 2-2, the count to Dawson. One out, runner now at third. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like Hoffman went for the low fastball that time.
Batting fourth, the catcher, number 13,
and
Jack
it works
Johnson.
well as he gets a big second out. Now batting, the catcher, number 13, Jack Johnson. First pitch low and away, ball 1. He gets a piece of this one off Hoffman's glove. Sawada charging in, fields it, throws to first, and gets the third out. Not the hardest charging throw that Sawada's ever had to make, and he makes that one look routine. As Brookline is able to keep GBG off the board in the first inning. At the end of 1, our score, Brookline 1, GBG Northeast Black 0. Redquest back on the mound for his second inning of work. He'll be facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters for Brookline: Klein, Rosenblatt, and Kaufman.
Leading off the top of the second for Brookline, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein.
So first to the plate for Brookline, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. First pitch from Redquest. Catches the outside corner, strike one. Redquest going right back to his system, hitting that left side of the plate, the outside corner for lefties like Klein. And Klein reaches out, hits one right back to Redquest. And that's an easy first out.
Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch low, ball one. That one outside, ball two. It's rare to see Redquest attacking the right side of the plate that early in an at-bat, but doesn't quite work that time as he misses to the outside. And Rosenblatt lifts one out to left center. Diving catch could not be made by the center fielder. Rosenblatt is attacking second base. I don't know if he's going to make it, but the throw missed. It bounced over the second baseman's head. And Ben Rosenblatt with Brookline's third double today.
Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman.
A well-hit ball. The center fielder got a little over-ambitious, trying to see if he could turn that into an out, when if he had just taken it off the bounce, it would have been a single. And then the throw almost caught him going to second anyway. It would have, but it took a bad hop, came in a little too close and a little too short, kind of in a no man's land for an easy pickup by a second baseman. And so Rosenblatt gets to second with a one-out double. Max Kaufman, the center fielder, hits a grounder over to second. That's going to be out number two. So
Batting
two
ninth,
down.
the designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin.
And now the designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin, steps to the plate. With two down and a runner at third, the same situation Martino was facing in the top of the first. That turned into an RBI double. What will Chin do here? He'll bunt and foul it off. Chin trying to sneak one past the GBG fielders. As you could see, he was already making a break out of the batter's box with that reach bunt, but fouls it off. That one hits the zone for strike two. So whatever bunt strategies might have been left over, they're definitely out the window here with 2 strikes in the count. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a breaking ball to the inside. And Chin fouls that one off. Wasn't quite the inside breaking ball I expected, as I think that one curved more towards the middle of the plate, but either way, Chin fouls it off, stays alive at 0-2. And he slices that one foul, 0-2. Chin's swing has more of a tendency to send the ball to the opposite field, and with the third baseman pulled in a little bit to cover the base runner at third, that leaves a little bit of extra space where he might be able to drop a bloop single in there if he can get the ball right. Did he go around? He did not. Checked his swing. High ball 1. That one misses high and away. Ball 2. 2-2 the count now to Chin with 2 down and a runner at third. Slices another one and stays alive at 2-2. Devin Chin giving RedQuest a battle here in the top of the second with a runner at third and 2 down. And that one misses high and away, as he's tried for that outside breaking ball a couple of times, but it hasn't broken enough. And now Chin has fought his way from 0-2 to a full count. Makes contact. This is in foul territory, but it looks playable. And Bumpus makes the catch against the fence, and that will end the inning. Just a few feet away from being another out of play foul ball that would have made the at-bat go even longer. Chin gives RedQuest a battle, but cannot bring the runner home. We move to the bottom of the second with score still 1-0 in favor of Brookline.
Softball gear and equipment, catcher's gear, umpire equipment, bat bags, gloves, and sunglasses. Learn more about Pro9 by going to pro9sports.com and firecrackersports.com for more information. Pro9 Sports, a better way to play.
Owen Hoffman back on the mound after a solid first inning, allowing 1 walk, but ultimately doing a good job throwing strikes, getting 1 strikeout and inducing 2 infield groundouts as he gets ready to face the 5, 6, 7 hitters for GBG. Looks like the leadoff hitter is going to be the center fielder, number 24, Brady Paradis.
Leading off the bottom of the second for GBG, the center fielder, number 24, Brady Paradis.
So a lefty hitter to start for GBG in the bottom of the second. First pitch outside, ball 1. This one popped up. It's playable. Fantuzzi chasing, and he's got it for out number 1. So a quick out in 2 pitches. Hoffman working efficiently so far.
Batting 6th, the right fielder, number 5, Kyle Weldon.
Now the right fielder, number 5, Kyle Weldon. First pitch is going to miss, low and away, ball 1. And he pops it up, going to stay in the infield. Hoffman calling for it himself, and he's got it for out number 2.
Batting 7th, the second baseman, number 3, Michael Pileski.
So back-to-back pop-outs, and now batting is the second baseman, number 3, Michael Pileski. And he checks his swing there at a low ball 1. That one hits the outside corner, strike 1. That one misses, high and outside, ball 2. And a bit of a check swing foul there from Pileski. Strike 2. 2-2 the count, 2 down, bases empty here in the bottom of the second. That curves in perfectly, strike 3. Owen Hoffman doing much better to start this game. 2 hitless innings. And through 2, Brookline leads GBG 1-0.
Keep up with the action at firecrackersports.com for all your baseball, softball, online shop, and player development needs. Download the Firecracker Sports app to get instant notifications, schedules, and much more.
Sorry about that. We are positioned right next to the PA speakers, and so sometimes it's just a little hard to keep my thoughts straight and talk over it. It'll be the top of Brookline's lineup coming to the plate against RedQuest in the top of the third. Sawada, Doctoroff, and Fantuzzi. And one little note that because we're working so efficiently, I didn't get to that infield pop-up by Weldon that Hoffman took himself. You know, I feel like a lot of times at higher levels of play, you'll see pitchers, you know, surrender a play like that to the infielder. Infielders are more known for training their glove, while pitchers focus on their arm. But at the high school level, if you're a pitcher, odds are you're also playing a spot in the field, because odds are you're one of the best athletes on your team, period, if you're a good pitcher. You have very few specialists at the high school level, and Owen Hoffman is no exception to that rule, as he's played every level of fielding except catcher. He's pitched, he's played infield, he's played outfield. So it's not surprising to see him take a fly ball himself. And, you know, just as a fan of these Brookline players, watching them through a number of spring and summer seasons, after a couple of back-to-back rough starts to start the summer for Owen Hoffman, it is really nice to see him return to form and really pitch like how we know he can pitch, like what we saw in the spring. Leading off for Brookline here on the top of the third, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada, takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Sawada, his last time up, went down on strikes, gave RedQuest a battle, but ultimately chased his third strike high. Fouls that one off, strike 1. That one gonna miss to the outside, ball 2. Again, starting out by attacking that outside corner on lefties. Moves low and inside that time and induces a foul ball to the backstop. 2-2 now, the count to Sawada. And pops this one up. Foul territory, playable for Bumpus. And he's got the catch for out number 1.
The catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff.
Now the catcher, Ben Doctoroff. He got a double his last time up and then came in to score.
We started
What is so far the only run of the game, as the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. You might have heard the PA announcer announcing the start time. The reason for that is that these games generally work on a hour 45-minute time limit, as that one will hit the zone, strike 1. So whatever inning you're in, once you hit that hour 45 mark, that's going to be the last inning of the game. But we've only been playing for about a half hour right now, maybe 40 minutes, as that one's low for ball 2. So we still got an hour plus left in this game's time limit. 2-1 the count. And that's a low ball 3. Attacking the lower part of the plate more this time against Doctoroff, and he's missed quite a few. Hitters count at 3-1. And Doctoroff sends a grounder fielded by Bumpus. Long throw to first. Safe! He beat it out. Pulled the throw off the bag. Dawson tried to make the stretch. And to borrow
number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi.
And to borrow a tennis term, I would call that a forced error, as Doctoroff was hustling up the baseline. Might have forced a bit of a rushed throw by Bumpus, or forced Dawson to try and stretch further to make that grab, which pulled him off the bag. And there's also a chance he might have beaten that throw out anyway. That was very close. Either way, Doctoroff reaches base for the second time today. And at the plate with an 0-1 count now is the third baseman, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Throw back to first. Doctoroff dives back. They know he's got some wheels, so want to try and neutralize the threat of a steal. That one drops low, ball 1. Doctoroff is dancing off the bag at first, so we might be thinking about it. Looks like he might have gotten a jump just a little early before Redquest threw the pitch and had to jump back and not take off. Timing is everything when you're stealing bases in baseball. You know, it's like the sprinters in track. If you don't get a good break out of the blocks, as Fantuzzi lifts one to shallow right, caught at second base by Pileski in shallow right field for out number 2. Bit of an unconventional call there. Usually in a situation like that, the outfielder would call the infielder off, as, you know, having the ball over your shoulder as opposed to right in front of you as you charge in. You usually want the guy charging in from the outfield to take one like that. But Pileski, confident in his ability to cover that ground and make it an easy enough catch. And probably the right call there with how shallow it was. Might have been a tough play out in right field for Weldon. At the plate, the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino. And on a hit and run, he lifts one. Going to be a can of corn in center field for Paradis. And that will end the inning. Still a one-run ball game as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Brookline with the 1-0 lead.
And now offer more analysis on each player. Get the absolute most out of your TrackMan hitting and pitching monitor with the TrackMan Cloud. All data is saved for historical analysis. Subscription tiers are available for individual players and entire organizations. We have the structure to support you at any level. Find out more about TrackMan and our partnership at firecrackersports.com.
So we haven't quite seen the full GBG batting order yet, but by the end of this inning, we will definitely have. I'm not sure if they have any extra hitters on the roster today. But if there is an extra hitter, we'll be seeing the 8, 9, and 10 hitters this inning. If there is not an extra hitter and they only have 9 in the batting order, then we'll be seeing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Looks like the leadoff hitter is going to be number 6, Jake Seaver. Seaver not in the field, so I assume he's either a DH or an EH. We'll wait for the PA confirmation.
Leading off the bottom of the third for GBG, the extra hitter, number 6, Jake Seager.
So Seaver is an extra hitter. As he hits the first one, it's a bouncer. It stays in play. Was that off his foot? They're saying it was off his foot, so it's a dead ball. That said, I like the hustle from the Brookline fielders. You know, don't take for granted anything. You know, play, as they say in football, play till the whistle. But ultimately, they do say that's a foul ball off Seaver's foot. Automatic dead ball. Strike one. That one checks his swing successfully. Ball one. Makes contact over the outstretched glove of Fantuzzi into left. That's going to go for extra bases as Seaver rounds first and goes down to second with a leadoff double.
Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 1, Johnny Farrell.
Now the designated hitter, number 1, Johnny Farrell. Ooh, Hoffman did have the runner fooled on the turnaround, but his middle infielders weren't ready for that one. And this one's lifted out to center, but within range of Kaufman. That'll be out number 1.
Batting 10th, the extra hitter, number 44, Matthew Oates.
We've got another extra hitter, number 44, Matthew Oates. So GBG getting as many batters involved as they can. First pitch is a low ball 1. That one low and in, ball 2. That one hung on him as it comes in way high, ball 3. Favorable 3-0 count to Oates here. A walk isn't the worst thing in the world in this situation. And that's what it'll be, a 4-pitch walk to Oates. That'll create a force at every base except home. And the potential for a double play, which would get them out of the inning.
The shortstop, number 17, Colby Robertson.
So now the last in the batting order, I believe, the shortstop, number 17, Colby Robertson. Oh, they got him on the pickoff, but he's running unhesitatingly to third, and he's going to take third. Smart base running by Seaver. Hoffman had him completely fooled. And while it's generally good fundamentals to throw to second, by the time the ball got to second, Seaver was already well on his way to third. As once he saw he was caught, he just took off like he was fired out of a cannon. It's going to be a high ball 1. Sawada, instead of the play at third, opted to see if there was a chance to catch Oates sleeping at first, and there wasn't. 1-0 the count now to Robertson. Slices that one to the backstop, strike 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Oates take off for second in this situation. First and third. You can draw the attention away as they go for a hit and run. It's a foul ball and it's out of play. So the runners go back, strike 2 to Robertson. But like I was saying, with runners at the corners, a guy stealing second forced the defense to make a choice about whether they're more concerned about the runner scoring from third. Runner takes off again. That skips in the turf. And not even going to try and contest it as it's blocked by the chest protector of Doctoroff. Oates successful, stealing second. And now a 2-2 count to Robertson. Infielders all pulled in here is no chance for a double play. And that one gets away from Doctoroff. The runners take off. And we are tied at 1 as Seaver comes home. Took a weird ricochet off Doctoroff's body, and he couldn't find it immediately. And if there was going to be a play at the plate, he had to find that immediately. And that is going to be an immediate second run off an RBI single to left by Robertson. Two pitches, 2 runs, and GBG, whoops, marked that wrong. GBG takes the quick 2-1 lead over Brookline here. Now we cycle back to the top of the order with the left fielder, number 23, John Pyers. Hoffman checks on Robertson over at first. 2-1, GBG now leads with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Fouled to the backstop, strike 1. Just 2 base hits from GBG so far today, but all of them in this inning coupled with some aggressive base running. As another runner taking off, but this time it's fouled to the backstop, and Robertson has to go back to first. But you can see what having the ability to be aggressive on the base paths does for an offense. And they got him in the pickoff. Are they going to be able to get him? Throw well backed up by Sheehan to prevent disaster, and now they've got him in the pickle. Klein chasing him, flips it to Sawada. Sawada on the chase, and the man slipped and fell. Might have been trying to fake out Sawada there, force him to throw. Sawada did not bite on that one. And so the pickoff move is successful for out number 2. Brookline was almost successful with a similar pickoff move earlier in the inning, but Seaver's aggressive base running was able to prevent the out and put him in a better position to score, which he ultimately did on a wild pitch. 1-2, the count to Pyers, and another one skips in the turf for ball 2. Couple of fastballs dropping too low. And that time a curveball drops too low. Full count now to Pyers. Makes contact. It's a slow roller over to short. Picked up by Sheehan, thrown to first. And that will be out number 3. So not quite a disastrous inning for Brookline, but they do surrender the lead. GBG on top now as we move to the 4th inning. The score 2-1.
55 juniors and seniors will play in Fire 55, and another 55 freshmen and sophomores will play in Junior Fire 55. The Fire 55 will be held August 8th through 10th at Duncan Park in Hartford, Connecticut, home of the Hartford Yard Goats, AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Find out more today at firecrackersports.com or ask one of the Firecracker Sports staff at any venue.
As we get ready for the top of the 4th, Redquest back on the mound for GBG. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for Brookline: Hoffman, Klein, and Rosenblatt. I see Uncle Peter in the live chat saying, okay, nice, sunny day, go Brookline. And it is nice and sunny, but we definitely had some rain, and I think even a bit of lightning that delayed the game before this one, which is why this one got off to a late start. And then even right before this one started, we had a brief sun shower that forced me to throw a coat over my laptop. But thankfully, the rain let up just before the game itself started, and with this being a turf field, it's easy to just, you know, keep playing as if nothing happened. So Redquest and GBG now with a lead to defend for the first time today.
Leading off the top of the 4th for Brookline, the pitcher, number 15, Owen Hoffman.
Owen Hoffman steps to the box to lead off the top of the 4th. First pitch, high, ball 1. Hoffman, his last time up, flew out to right to end the first inning. Slices that one foul into the backstop, strike 1. That one gonna miss, ball 2. slices another one. I think I was a little off on my count anyway. 2-2 is the count. Actually, I'm not even sure if I was off. Either way, 2-2 is the count at this point. That much I'm sure of. Makes good contact to right center. Sliding catch made out and right. Both outfielders slid for it. Good coordination by them to keep from colliding with each other. And ultimately a nice catch made by Kyle Weldon. That one hung in the air for just a little too long. I mean, that was about the best spot in between those two fielders that you could get. And if it had dropped down a little sooner, that might have been extra bases. But instead, it'll just be out number one here in the fourth inning. At the plate now is the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. That one misses low and away for ball 2. That one actually caught the low inside corner, strike 1. Two and one the count. Klein his last time up, grounded out back to the pitcher. And he hits a grounder back to the pitcher again. Redquest flips to first for out number 2. Klein seems to have a very pull-oriented swing as he leans out of the batter's box with his swing leans to his right. And so at these outside pitches that Redquest likes to bring, Klein's only really getting a piece of them. Seems like it just might be a bad matchup for him. 2 down, now up the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. And he sliced that one foul. And out of place, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Redquest went for a low dipping curveball there. Rosenblatt did get that double to left center his last time up, but now is back to the wall, 1-2. And he goes around on that one, strike 3. Redquest puts him down in order in the top of the 4th. We move to the bottom half with GBG still leading 2-1.
We have partnered with Pocket Radar at all of our showcase camps and events to provide higher-end content on our social media platforms. Use Pocket Radar for camera-captured content with overlaid metrics. Find out more about Pocket Radar and our partnership at firecrackersports.com.
It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for GBG. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Bumpus, Dawson, and Johnson as Hoffman returns to the mound for a 4th inning of work.
the bottom of the fourth for GBG, the third baseman, number 19, Christian Bumpus.
Bumpus leading off the bottom of the fourth for GBG, as that one hits the zone for strike one. That one's going to miss. That'll be ball one. 1-1, the count to Bumpus. He drew a 4-pitch walk his last time up, advanced all the way to third, but was left stranded as he takes that one high and in for ball two. This one's skied, it's playable. Charging in is Rosenblatt, but he's called off by Sawada. Boy, that's the second time today that we've seen the rare instance of an infielder calling off an outfielder.
The first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson.
And both times it was a second baseman calling off a right fielder. And we've now seen it once from each team, and both times it has worked out. Now batting, the first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson. I will say, though, on that play, it probably would have been safer to let Rosenblatt take that one, as that was a bit of an awkward angle for the catch by Sawada. But regardless, he did make the catch. Dawson chased that one high for strike one. Dawson went down on strikes his last time up. That's a high ball two. That one catches the inside corner, strike two. 2-2, the count to Dawson. Goes for a low dipping breaking ball, and Dawson doesn't bite on it. Ball three. But hits the zone there as he goes to the low outside corner with the fastball. Strike three. Third K of the day for Owen Hoffman, his second of Dawson. And now at the plate, the catcher, number 13, Jack Johnson. First pitch, he skies it. Is it playable? Nope. Over the netting and into the bleachers for strike one. Johnson, his last time up, grounded out to second to end the first inning. Now up with 2 down and the base is empty. That one drops low, ball one. That one low and in for ball two. That one drops low, ball three. Swing and a miss there, strike two. So a full count now to Johnson with 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. And jammed inside for an easy pop out to second. Hoffman rebounds nicely after a rough third inning and puts them down in order.
We've partnered up with Six-Tool for all of our events to provide year-round development and more analysis on each player. Six-Tool helps you learn the forgotten skill in the game. These quizzes and developmental opportunities allow players and coaches to learn the game better by being placed in game situations to understand the correct play, pitch, or strategy to win the at-bat or game. Find out more about Six-Tool and our partnership at firecrackersports.com.
During this time between the 4th and 5th inning, I'm going to try and fit in a local charity spotlight here, tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Before this year, I don't have the updates from this year's graduating class, but through 2023, they had raised over $1.4 million in scholarship funding and had awarded over $180,000 in scholarships to the class of 2023. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. All right, it'll be the 8-9-1 hitters coming up for Brookline this inning: Kaufman, Chin, and Sawada. As Redquest out for his 5th inning. We got a question.
For Brookline, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman.
So as Kaufman steps into the box to start the top of the 5th inning, we got a question in the live chat from Uncle Peter. A high school pitcher question. In your experience, have you ever seen a young high schooler have fair control of an exotic pitch like a knuckleball or a really wicked curve? First pitch to Kaufman, gonna miss, low, ball 1. And Uncle Peter, I can't really say that I have. You know, I haven't seen any knuckleball pitchers or submariners, or I might have seen a couple of sidearm throwers, but I think that's the most exotic it's gotten, as Kaufman tries to bunt and fouls that one off for strike 1. Although I will say, one of the fun things about getting to watch different guys pitch, especially at this level, is you get to see all different kinds of funky deliveries. You know, like, for instance, yesterday we got to see Ben Cody pitch, and Cody's got a very different kind of delivery from the average pitcher. You know, it almost looks like he's got his arm curved in so he can unleash it like a whip as he throws the ball. And I'm not sure if that helps provide extra curve, because Cody throws like 70 or 80% curveballs. Very different kind of pitcher than your conventional, you know, very different than your conventional 70 or 80% fastball thrower with occasional breaking balls. He focuses mostly on breaking balls as Kaufman goes down on strikes. My apologies if my voice seemed a little off there. I was being attacked by a door. Don't worry about it.
The designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin.
So with 1 down here in the top of the 5th, up comes the designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin. First pitch shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1. Chin, his last time up, popped out to the third baseman in foul territory. And pops this one up into shallow left and chased down by Robertson at short. And that'll be out number 2. It was a good spot to try and drop something in as the third baseman, had been pulled in to account for a potential bunt. And it was over Bumpus's head, but it was well covered by Robertson. Good speed to get over there in time as the pop-up just hung in the air a little too long. So 2 down, and that's a high ball 1 to the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Fouls that one off, strike 1. Sawada 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a pop out to third. That one high and in, ball 2. That one gonna miss. Ball 3. 3-1 the count to Sawada. And lifts this one out to left, being tracked by Pyers, and he's got it for out number 3.
Loco Canopies is a proud partner of Firecracker Sports. They have the highest quality canopies on the market. All their custom canopies are printed on 610-year polyester and use the best dye sublimation process on the market today. Their canopy frames are made of the highest grade aluminum to provide unbeatable strength while keeping them lightweight and portable. And they come with lifetime warranties on the legs. Check out the Firecracker Sports canopies at any venue this weekend to see their work. Interested in one for your program, family, or team? Mention Firecracker Sports and receive a discount on all products.
We move to the bottom of the 5th inning, and we have a new pitcher for Brookline. Hoffman not being pulled due to a lack of results, as he's been great through the first 4 innings. But having pitched twice in 3 days, he's now pitched about 6 innings over his past 2 appearances. So they're probably pulling him due to a pitch limit. Taking over in the bottom of the 5th here will be number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. They'll make a simple 1-for-1 switch. Owen Hoffman, a versatile fielder. You can stick him almost anywhere in the field. So you don't have to do one of those complicated things where, oh, you got to move this guy over here, and then you got to move this guy over here because of that, and then move. Very simple 1-for-1 swap, as Hoffman takes Fantuzzi's place at third base. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for GBG, Paradis, Weldon, and Pileski. Those 3 hitters went down in order in the 2nd inning against Hoffman.
Fans, your attention, please. Now pitching for Brookline, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi.
But they'll now be facing a new pitcher in Fantuzzi.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for GBG, the center fielder, number 24, Brady Paradis.
Paradis leading things off. First pitch in the zone for strike 1. Fantuzzi takes a beat off the rubber. Resets himself. This one skied up by Paradis. Fantuzzi and Doctoroff chasing it. Doctoroff couldn't make the grab. So that'll drop for a strike 2. Boy, it's got to be so tough on a sunny day like today as we approach sunset hours, trying to judge that ball as high up as it is, and especially when you're a catcher and your hat has to be on backwards. Paradis hits a dribbler up the third base side. It's fair. Hoffman picks it up, long throw, not going to be in time as Paradis legs out an infield single.
The right fielder, number 5, Kyle Weldon.
Not much that could be done about that one defensively, other than maybe back off and see if it bounced foul. As Paradis takes off on the first pitch, it's a high ball 1, throws not in time, and Paradis stays on the base as he almost overslides it. And so there'll be a runner on second with a 1-0 count to the right fielder, number 5, Kyle Weldon. Takes a low ball 2 there. Weldon, hard hit foul. Well out in front of that one, strike 1. Fantuzzi doesn't bring the same speed on his pitches that Hoffman does. And so the hitters need to adjust the timing of their swings to this new pitcher. That one's going to come in high, ball 3. Three and 1, the count to Weldon. And Fantuzzi turns around, checks on Paradis as he was dancing off second. We've seen GBG send runners to take off for third. And that's going to miss high for ball 4. And you can see the effect that Paradis being on the bases is having on Fantuzzi as the shortstop, Mayfield-Sheehan, comes in to talk to him, probably try and settle him down. Fantuzzi was calmly throwing strikes to Paradis to start this outing, but now with a runner on the bases threatening to steal, I think that might have gotten his head a little bit as he issued the walk to Weldon. Now Pileski pops one up. Easy catch for Sheehan for out number 1.
The extra hitter, number 6, Jake Seaver.
Now Jake Seaver stepping in. Seaver started that big rally back in the 3rd inning with a leadoff double. Stole third and came home on a wild pitch. Inside, ball 1. Runner taking off for third, swing and a miss for a strike. Throw down to third is in time. Some pressure off the pitcher there. Great throw by Ben Doctoroff, getting it around the batter and to the left, to the right side of the bag from the catcher's perspective. And a nice tag applied by Hoffman for out number 2. Weldon takes second in the meantime. Timeout is called. But that's got to make you feel much better as a pitcher. That guy that you were so worried about that was dancing off the bag gets thrown out trying to steal. This one is lifted out to right. Rosenblatt coming in, makes the catch for out number 3. So the defense backs up the new pitcher well, and through 5, our score, GBG 2, Brookline 1.
Players can sign up for these profiles by going to the Players Hub on firecrackersports.com and filling out the online forms. We have subscription models so you can add videos, stats, evaluations, and much more to get you even more for less money than any other competitor. Find out more today at firecrackersports.com.
We've got a new pitcher on the mound for GBG as well here in the top of the 6th inning. This is number 35, Graham Walrap. So RedQuest leaves the game after 5 innings of work, giving up just 1 earned run and 4 hits to Brookline. If Brookline does not score the rest of the way, then RedQuest will get the pitching win. As it stands right now, Hoffman would be credited with the pitching loss, though you can hardly fault him for going 4 innings, giving up 2 earned runs on just 3 hits. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for Brookline, Doctoroff, Fantuzzi, and Martino against the new pitcher. Top of the 6th inning, and based on depending on how fast this inning goes,
Brookline, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff.
Depending on how fast the 6th inning goes, we might be able to get a 7th inning for a full regulation game here in this tournament. And I think this is the last game of the day, so they might just let us slide and go full 7 anyway. Hard to say. But either way, Brookline needs to find some offense here as they trail 2-1 late in the game.
Please. Now pitching for GBG, number 35, Graham Walrap.
That one catches the high end of the zone. Strike 1 to Doctoroff. 1-1 the count. Doctoroff 1 for 2 so far today with a double and a run scored. Although he might be 2 for 2. Actually, I think he's 2 for 2. And he's going to be 3 for 3 as he sends that one up the middle for a single. As if I'm not mistaken... Oh, no, he is 2 for 3.
The pitcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi.
They scored his last reach as reaching on an E5 as the throw pulled the first baseman off the... Or actually, no, they did score it as a hit. So Doctoroff has 4 of his team's 5 hits so far. Now batting is Jackson Fantuzzi. He rips one deep to right center, but the outfielders on their horse, and they get it for out number 1.
The left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino.
Boy, we've seen a couple of well-hit balls to the outfield. Now we've seen some great range from the GBG outfielders, especially Kyle Weldon out in right field. So 1 out, runner at first, and now batting is the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino. Doctoroff taking off for second, and the ball pops out of Johnson's glove as it was a very high ball one. It was the right move to pitch high to give Johnson an easier transfer to the throw to second, but Walrap just threw it too high, almost wild pitch levels of high, and so Doctoroff takes second. Martino fouls that one off, strike one. Martino, of course, the only RBI for Brookline so far today as he got that 2-out RBI double all the way back in the first inning. His last time up, he flew out to center to end the third inning, as that's going to be a high ball 2. 2-1 the count. The potential tying run stands at second. Can Martino get a big hit here? Not on that pitch. That's a high inside ball 3. 3-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Same high inside part of the plate, but this time Martino got fooled on it. Full count now. 1 out, runner at second. Martino skies it. It's playable in foul territory. Johnson couldn't make the catch. So Martino catches a break there. We saw another play like that happen to Doctoroff on the other side earlier in the game. It's just so tough for catchers. You've got that weird catcher's glove. You know, you're running around in all that restrictive equipment. And any ball that's coming at you is going to be sky high and drop at terminal velocity. Doctoroff taking off for third. Martino swings and misses for 1 out. And Doctoroff does take third, almost took off for home as the throw got away, but he opts to hold at third.
Baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman.
So Martino down on strikes, but the tying run now stands at third with 2 down as up comes the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Hoffman 0 for 2 so far today, but he's got a chance to turn a potential pitching loss into a no decision here if he can drive in Doctoroff and tie this game. Makes contact but fouls it off. Strike 1. Hoffman, so far today, he's flown out to right twice. He's gotten good contact both times. But again, the range of Kyle Weldon out and right has been such a great asset for GBG today. That's a high ball 2. Johnson's job behind the plate so important right now. Anything gets past him, and this game could be tied. And that is high and away. 3-1 now the count. That one skips in the turf. Doctoroff is charging in, and he ties it! Hoffman draws the free pass to first, but the real important thing is that the ball did get away from Johnson. It only got away just a little bit. Ordinarily, I would not expect a runner to go there, but Doctoroff, unhesitating, aggressive to the plate, And Johnson took just long enough to find that ball, like Doctoroff did himself a few innings ago. And so Doctoroff scores the tying run on the wild pitch. We are even at 2 apiece here on the top of the 6th. That pitch catches the zone. 1-1 is the count to the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Hoffman stands at first, having drawn ball 4 on that wild pitch. And that one's low. Hoffman takes off. Bit of a delayed takeoff, but he does steal second. Good read of the situation by Owen Hoffman. Usually with a takeoff that late, I would expect it to be on a wild pitch, but just a good read of a low throw. But this is going to end the inning here. A pop out to first. But we are tied here at Monin Park. Brookline 2, GBG 2. We move to the bottom of the 6th. And a very interesting situation here late in the game. And boy, a much more high-pressure situation now for the reliever Fantuzzi, who is mostly, I think, really mostly brought in due to a lack of pitchers on the roster for Brookline at this tournament. And he'll be throwing in a very high-pressure situation here, tied in the bottom of the 6th. So the game now goes down as a no decision for both starters, Hoffman and Redquest. As we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be the bottom of the order, batters 9, 10, and 11 for GBG, Farrell, Oates, and Robertson. And boy, one thing that's really been interesting weather-wise, there hasn't been a lot of wind coming in off the ocean today. I mean, the wind has been absolutely gusting the past couple of days, but today it's been very calm. I mean, I'm not complaining. You know, as the guy who's got no bleacher protection from the wind, I am perfectly fine with this. First pitch is a high ball 1. The designated hitter, number 1, Johnny Farrell.
GBG, the designated hitter, number 1, Johnny Farrell.
Flew out to center his last time up back in the 3rd. Swings and misses there, strike 1. He hits a grounder past Fantuzzi, chased down by Sheehan. Quick throw to first and gets him in time. One of the better quote-unquote routine ground balls you're going to see at this level. Read very well by Sheehan. A lot of times when it bounces past the pitcher up the middle, that's a tough play to make. And Sheehan makes it look easy for out number 1. And Oates sends one right up the middle. No chance there. A 1-out single for Matthew Oates, the second extra hitter.
Shortstop number 17, Colby Robertson.
Now Colby Robertson, the shortstop, steps into the box. His last time up, he got an RBI single to drive in the go-ahead run back in the 3rd. Shows bunt and misses, fouls it off for strike 1. Oates, his last time on the base paths, he stole second and moved to 3rd on a wild pitch before coming in to score on the single by Robertson. Stands at first, as that is a high ball 1. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw more high balls thrown by Fantuzzi, as Robertson chased that one high for strike 2. Because I've said it before, you want your catcher to catch the ball high so he doesn't have to jump up from a low position when trying to throw down to second if you think a runner is going to steal. 1-2 the count. That one outside, ball 2. And they're lucky that Oates opted not to go on that one. Doctoroff would have had no chance as he had to reach out just to catch that pitch. That one high, well recovered by Doctoroff behind the hitter's head to prevent a wild pitch, but it will be a full count now to Robertson. Fantuzzi's got to regain himself here, put one in the zone. Runner taking off. Robertson makes contact. Slow dribbler to third. Picked up by Hoffman. Thrown to first. Got the out at first. And he's trying to stretch to third. They got him at third! The double play. Not sure if it was 5-3-5 or 5-3-6, but either way, a huge play from Brookline to shut down the threat there in the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at it again. It was a slow roller. Oates reached second easily on the hit and run. Hoffman, quick throw to first, and then the throw back, and it was Mayfield-Sheehan, the shortstop. Smart, fundamental baseball there to have the shortstop go cover third as the third baseman was pulled away. Just good awareness of what your role is in the field. Sheehan was initially coming to his left to try and cover the ground ball. Hoffman cuts in front of him. As soon as he sees that, he darts over to third base because it's now his job to cover third. And so when Hoffman throws to first, third base isn't actually wide open, even though the third baseman got pulled away that far because Sheehan knew his job and backed him up. And then heads up, quick throw from Klein. Heads up play from everybody, including Fantuzzi ducking down under the throw to make sure it was a clean path to third for Sheehan to make the tag there. We got another new pitcher on the hill here in the top of the 7th for GBG. I think it's number 10, Andrew Burke. No, it's not Burke. I misread the number completely. It's number 19, Christian Bumpus, coming in from third base. So he takes over on the mound in place of Walrap, who got the blown save by allowing the tying run in the 6th inning. Seaver going to take over Bumpus' spot at third.
Leading off the top of the 7th for Brookline, the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt.
First pitch from Bumpus inside for ball 1 as the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt, leading things off for Brookline here in the top of the 7th. Hits a high hopper foul.
Fans, your attention, please. Now pitching for GBG, number 19, Christian Bumpus.
So it'll be Rosenblatt, Kaufman, and Chin due up here in the 7th. As that pitch misses low and away, ball 2. Third pitcher of the day for GBG. That one catches the high part of the zone, strike 2. Brookline trying to take the lead here in the final inning of regulation. And Rosenblatt hits a grounder over to short, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, got him in time for out number 1. That was actually well fielded. That was an E6 waiting to happen with that last second hop right at the shortstop, but fielded well by Robertson And a good quick throw to first for out number 1. Now batting the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. Shows bunt, but pulls back, and that's going to be ball 1. Can't sneak the bunt past people once you show it once, and that's why a lot of pitchers, when they see that, they'll just instantly alter their throw to be way out the zone. That one drops in low for ball 2. Both corner infielders pulled in case Kaufman decides to go for the bunt again. Hoffman hits a slow dribbler to second, fielded, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 2.
The designated hitter, number 3, Devin Chin.
So 2 outs, bases empty here in the top of the 7th, and Devin Chin coming to the plate. If Chin can get on base, that would give Brookline a chance to get the top of their batting order involved as he takes an inside ball 1. Chin, his last time up, popped out to short. Before that, popped out to third. That one gonna miss, I think. No, it hit the zone, strike 1. Misread the signal there. Gets a piece of it, but fouls it off. Up the third base side, strike 2. And gets a piece of it again, goes off the catcher gear and rolls all the way to the third baseman. Chin stays alive at 1 and 2. That one hangs on him way outside, ball 2. Chin makes contact and sends it up the middle. The go-ahead run is on the base paths for Brookline
The second baseman,
as
number
Chin comes
5,
through with a
Keenan
2-out
Sawada.
single. But they still have a lot of work to do to get a potential go-ahead run across, as head coach John Busey is going to call time to talk to the batter coming up, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 3 so far today. Struck out in the first inning. Popped out to third in the third inning and flew out to left to end the 5th inning. Now up with 2 down and a runner at first as he now steps into the box. Chin is a fast runner, and they're sending him immediately. It's a high. Sawada swings, and he caused the hesitation they wanted. Chin takes second base as Sawada swung at a pitch that was way too high to be a strike, but that's part of your job as a batter, especially this early in the count. You want to cause just that little blink of hesitation in the catcher on the play at second. That throw gets away. A wild pitch, Chin at third, rounds third, as Bumpus realized a little late, oh, I should cover home, because Chin is just that fast, he can make that threat. Just like that, the go-ahead run at third for Brookline, just 90 feet away. Can Sawada bring him home? Could another wild pitch bring him home? Or could Bumpus get out of the jam and keep us tied going into the bottom half? Sawada hits one, and it's a grounder to second, fielded cleanly for out number 3. So Brookline threatens but cannot score. We move to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. Fantuzzi back on the mound for his third inning of work out of the bullpen, as he will face the top of the GBG order, Pyers, Bumpus, and Dawson. I see a note in the live chat that I missed after the end of the sixth inning from Uncle Peter saying, "Great throw, Dr. Off," referring to that moment when he caught Paradis stealing third in the fifth. Here we go, bottom of the seventh. John Pyers leading off, shows bunt, lays down the bunt. Fantuzzi grabs it, throw to first in time. Pyers can't get the sneaky bunt single. One pitch, one out. Now batting the relief pitcher, number 19, Christian Bumpus. One out, base is empty. He lifts this one to left center. Racing, Kaufman's got it. Wait, are they saying he dropped it? And they say he's out. The GBG coach is arguing that Kaufman dropped it. It looked like he dropped it a couple of steps after securing it after colliding with the left fielder. So this is a very interesting call. This could make or break the game potentially. And so the umps are conferring over this. The first base ump saying, "I'm only watching to make sure the batter touches first base. I'm not looking to see the outfield, so there's nothing I can add here." And so the appeal from the GBG coach is unsuccessful as Bumpus heads back to the dugout. So count that as a nice catch made in left center by Max Kaufman.
The first baseman, number 7,
and so two down. Rather than one out and the winning run at second, instead 2 outs, bases empty, as up comes the first baseman, number 7, Eric Dawson. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. That's a high ball one. And while I agree with the out call personally, just from my own limited perspective of the play from up here in the bleachers, I can't even fault the GBG coach for fighting to get that play overturned because, like I said, it's such a big difference between 2 outs, bases loaded, and 1 out, winning run at second. You can't fault the guy for at least trying to get his team a better situation there. That one skips in the turf for ball 2. That one high and in for ball 3. 3-1, the count to Dawson. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. I have heard before that you can get ties in this tournament, so I don't know if they're going to let us keep playing to extra innings. I hope they will, as that one's going to miss to the outside for ball 4. But in order for the question of extra innings to even come into play, Brookline's got to get out of this inning, as they're going to send in a pinch runner for Dawson. That's number 33, Abraham Anderson, who's going to run in place of Dawson.
Fans, your attention please. Running at first base for GBG, number 33, Abraham Anderson.
So Anderson representing the potential game-winning run at first base is the first pitch to Jack Johnson, the catcher, is a high ball 1. And that's a high ball, too. Meeting at the mound now, as this is a high-pressure situation to put on a guy whose primary position is not pitcher. Fantuzzi typically a catcher or a first baseman, and today he's played third and pitcher. After a meeting with the entire infield, they send Fantuzzi back out there. 2-0 the count to Johnson with Anderson, the pinch runner, at first. That one in the zone, strike one. Johnson appeared to be taking all the way on that pitch. He might be trying to put some extra pressure on Fantuzzi, saying, hey, it's going to take more than one pitch to get me out. That one, did he check? He checked it, ball 3. Good discipline by Johnson and good wrist strength to hold his bat back from going around. Even though his hips went around, it's the head of the bat. It's not the body. Slices this one foul. And that'll be strike 2, so a full count now to Johnson with 2 down and the winning run at first. Big payoff pitch coming here as Johnson steps out of the box temporarily. Runner taking off, and he tips it to the backstop. Doctoroff comes up hopping. Not sure if he's coming up because that stung his hand or because he's frustrated that he didn't get his glove around that one. Looks like it was more frustration than pain. Runner taking off again, and that's a high ball 4. Johnson battles his way to a walk. And now with the winning run at second base,
number 24, Brady Paradis.
Up comes the center fielder, number 24, Brady Paradis, with a chance to end it here. A runner in scoring position. A base hit to the outfield could end this ball game, but an out would either end it in a tie or send us to extras. Paradis lifts it out to left, chasing after it. It drops in, and this will end the ball game. Brady Paradis with the walk-off single to left, and Anderson comes in to score.
Ball game, your final score, GBG 3 and the Brookline Blue 2.
Abraham Anderson, the pinch runner, comes in to score on the walk-off single from Brady Paradis. And the final score, GBG 3, Brookline 2.
Johnson and Wales, Rhode Island College, and other campuses. Thanks for coming, everybody. Please drive home safely. Have a great evening and have a great 4th of July week.
So Brookline has easily their best played game defensively throughout this whole tournament, but ultimately it ends with their 4th loss. Well, a thrilling game regardless, and my hat's off to both teams for giving us such a thrilling contest. And that's going to do it for today, and I think that's going to do it for the entire tournament. I'll get official confirmation later, but Brookline, having gone 0-4 in this tournament, I don't think they're advancing to extra play tomorrow. And so that's going to do it for this tournament, which would mean that I'm not going to be back on stream for another week, full 7 days, as the Lou Tompkins All-Star League season will resume next Monday. Let me see if I can pull up my schedule real quick and let you know exactly what that game is going to be on Monday, July 8th. That's going to be Brookline's home opener of the summer, as their original home opener got postponed. Brookline going to be hosting Bill Ricca at Warren Field at 5:45 p.m. on Monday, July 8th. I'll have that one covered, and the rest of that Lou Tompkins season I'll have covered. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything else you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video to find some helpful links, a link to link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And you can also find some links related to me, my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past that and just email me directly with any questions or requests you may have, you can find that email in the description section. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score here at Monan Park, GBG Northeast Black 3, Brookline 2. From Monan Park on the campus of BC High in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.